Yeah, it's the Archivest, y'all. Exclusively interviewing Krizz Kaliko.
Yeah, man. What's up with you, brother?
And who is Strange's Krizz Kaliko?
Strange Music's Krizz Kaliko, man, is the glue, I would say, of Strange Music. Tech is the boss, the co-owner, the flagship artist, if you will, the blueprint for Strange Music. Krizz Kaliko, I've been called like the Nate Dogg of Strange Music, and that comparison is because I do all of the hooks for everybody, you know what I'm saying, all the choruses. But I would say more like the glue, and the reason why I say the glue is because I help everybody on the label write, because everyone, thank God, has recognized that I can write the hits and I can write the big songs. A lot of the big songs that you've heard from Tech Nine, who I'm most associated with, you know, he and I wrote together, from Caribou Lou to I'm a Player to Areola to, I mean, all of these songs that, you know, that are fan favorites, you know what I'm saying? KCT, he and I have written together, you know what I'm saying? So I would call myself the glue, because you can't have a song without the hook, and that's my specialty.
And when you started out, share about your record, Vitiligo.
Vitiligo is a skin condition. It's the skin condition that I have, and its medical term is leukoderma, which means white skin. And it's the definition is smooth, white, patchy skin, or something, patchy spots of skin, something like that. But this is, I grew up, it made me who I am. You know, it gave me character. It also, you know, it was kind of like growing up like it. It was like, you know, tormenting, you know, sometimes, you know, kids tease me. I had fights because of it. So it's really the foundation of my character growing up looking different than everybody. Strange Music, of course, was a great catalyst because Tech was doing so much different. He was doing it way different than anybody else. And so it was a perfect vehicle for Krizz Kaliko. So that's why I named my first project that.
And your introduction to the music game with that record.
Right.
Share about it.
Yeah, man. It's really good, man. You know, I was originally going to call it the Funkra, which is the word that Tech and I made up that means funk, rap, rock, reggae, R&B, and opera, which is all of the music that I do. But to me, it didn't. It told the story about the music, but it didn't tell the story about the person. And that's why I wanted to introduce them to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the title track, Vitiligo, I had my mom even sing on it. You know, so my mother sang the hook on it, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I touched on a few of the things that I can do on that album. I touched on some of the rap, because I usually rap and then sing all my own hooks. But the next album, I was able to kind of jump out more and do more reggae, more R&B stuff. And then, of course, my last album, Shock Treatment, was more like big hits, you know, and then the EP I got now is like more like just hardcore rapping. And I rapped more on Vitiligo too, because I didn't want people to put me in a box and call, because a lot of dudes, I mean producers, and they're like, hey man, I got R&B music. I'm like, you don't hear me do that much R&B. Like, I really wanted people to know I was an MC for real. Like, it's not a lot of dudes that can out rap us, you know what I'm saying? Seriously. And I wanted people to know that, so that's why that was my introduction of Vitiligo.
And onto a common question for people with mental disorders, from the song anxiety to bipolar.
Sure.
We all deal with this in many hard ways. It's a challenge for everyday life for many of us. And what are some of your remedies that are dealing with these issues?
Man, you know, my remedy for dealing with the mental issues, man, are, you know, I have been on several antidepressants, man. I've been on you know, through, you know, psychotherapy and all of these things, but the music is my biggest therapy, man. If I can get out all of this crazy stuff in my head and everybody can hear me, I mean, if I talk to a psychiatrist, only you can hear me. If I put it in my music, the world gets to hear it. And it's very, it's way more therapeutic to me, you know what I'm saying? So I would say I tried, you know, and exercise, you know, I've dropped a little bit of weight lately. Exercise is a good remedy for stress and for anxiety and even being bipolar, which is what they say, but they can't really diagnose any. All they can do is that some of these mental disorders or emotional disorders have similar characteristics or similar symptoms, so they just attach a name to it, but there's no science to that. So I claim it, but I don't. I tell people I'm bipolar because that's what the doctor told me. But I really think this is just the way God made me. And I said it on my newest EP. Crazy, that's the reason I got talent. If my brain wasn't like this, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank God.
And the musical mastermind with the record Genius, reaching number 3 on the Billboard charts, share about the impact that this did for your career.
It did really good, man. All of my albums have charted, thank God, man. I think that the Billboard thing helps, but I think that the thing that helps us the most is getting in front of these kids, man. You know, the Billboard thing impresses execs. It impresses other artists, and it impresses other labels, I think. But our impact, our purpose is for the people. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that it helped somewhat. It did help. You know, I wouldn't discount that. I appreciate Billboard so much. But I think the biggest impact is getting in front of these kids because we don't have a huge TV presence. Of course, it's hard for me to say that as we have a video on MTV right now. But the biggest thing is getting in front of these kids, man, like what we're doing tonight, man, right here in Vancouver, man. That's the proof is in the pudding, man. When we cut the music out and we rap a cappella, we sing a cappella, the proof is in the pudding. So that's the biggest impact, man.
And growing up, what was your favorite hip-hop show that you ever seen and one of the best songs?
I said the best hip-hop show I saw was probably, I went to a concert that had Run DMC and LL Cool J in it, and KRS-One and NWA and Eric B. and Rakim. It was this big concert that came through Kansas City when I was a little kid. And I saw the energy that like Run DMC had up there. You know what I'm saying? And just the way that they just handled that crowd. And I always felt like you had to be interacting with the crowd, and you just got to have that it factor, man. They have to like you a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did. And I would have to say it was probably everything they did, though. But I would say the thing that stuck out to me was that Hit It Run when he was beatboxing. You know what I'm saying? When Run was beatboxing. You know what I'm saying? I'd say it was probably that. And then I saw Public Enemy do Welcome to the Terror Dome. That's what it was. Welcome to the Terror Dome, man. Public Enemy.
And Shock Treatment, super electrifying. How did the album move, and what are the fans' thoughts?
The album moves pretty good. Nothing is done as well as Vitiligo.
Okay.
It did good. Nothing did as well as I think my first album. Now, of course, it's been out longer. But the fans, I think, loved it. The people that loved to come see us perform loved it. But some of our hardcore fans, they want to hear how crazy I am. I think they want something to identify with. So when I do songs like Elevator or Get Around, these are party songs, or Scallywag. These are party songs, and they like them, but they love for me to do my anxieties and bipolars because it gives them something to attach themselves to me to. So it makes them feel like, dang, I have those kind of problems. I didn't think somebody like this guy who's supposed to be whatever, quote unquote, celebrity, I didn't think he would have these issues too. So it's something for them to attach to me with, you know what I'm saying? And so I would have to say it did well. Shock Treatment did well, but on the EP that I just did, I kind of took it back to Vitiligo again and let them in. Let them in some more, you know what I'm saying? So.
And stepping into your world, tell us more about your hobbies and the things you like to do besides music.
Hobbies. Man, I haven't had a hobby in a while because we tour 230 days a year, and when we're not on tour, we're in the studio. So my hobby is my job, really, man. Like music is my hobby, it's my job. Of course, when I'm not, I just start working out. Made that one of my hobbies. I do regular stuff, man. Like I'm a pretty regular cat. Besides, my brain is irregular. My music, I think our music is elite and extraordinary. But I mean, when I'm not on the road, man, I got my son, man. Like I got my son with me, and I take my son to the park, and I hang out with Tech's uncle, which is like his father. He raised him like his father. He's like one of my best friends, Uncle Ike. We just hang out, really. And I'm a husband, you know what I'm saying? I'm at home being a regular daddy and husband and painting rooms and, remodeling my house and like stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
And one of the best songs that you've ever made, and why?
Probably, I would say the fans probably would say Anxiety, because I think it's so many people with anxiety, man. So many people with anxiety, and like I said before, I think they attached to me with that song. It gave them, put us on common ground, and then it rocks so hard live that everybody just goes like really crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say it's got the perfect formula where it let people inside. It also makes them want to party. It makes them have anxiety to listen to, man, and I think it's just a perfect combination.
And before you became a star, what was your favorite job that you did? Example, grocery store, hanging with the fam.
That's what it is, grocery store, man. And my first job was probably my favorite job, man. I worked at this grocery store called Wild Woody's Happy Foods. And it's in the hood in Kansas City on 31st Street. And my brother worked there, my cousins worked there with me. I was 15 when I got that job. I worked there till I was like 20. We used to just sit on the table, just beat on the table and sing and rap and dance like the newest dances, and everybody knew us, and it was just this really good family atmosphere. And of course, at the same time, shootouts, cats selling dope in front of the store. I mean, it was like really crazy, but it was like a good experience. It really grounded me, man. And I think back to that because sometimes I'm at shows in Kansas City and people are like, hey, you used to sack my groceries at Happy Foods. I'm like, I sure did. I'm proud of that, But I've had so many jobs, man. I'd have to say that was my favorite though.
And many songs that you've done, incredible choruses for: Bunk Rock Bitch, Red Nose, Slacker, I'ma Tell, like Yeah, Boom Boom Room, and the amazing Leave Me Alone, Misunderstood, I'm a Playa, Elevator, and share about these bangers, Ego Trippin', and All I Know Is Hood.
Yeah, man, like I've been blessed to be able to write hits, man. I understand what a hit song is. And if people don't understand, here's the formula for a big song. Beat is the first priority. A beat. 50 cents in the club, I always use this. 50 cents in the club song played in a club one night I was in with no lyrics on it. Just the beat played 3 times. Everybody jumped up, rushed the floor. That beat was just undeniable. Next is the hook, man. The hook is the second most important thing. And then your verses, important to have good verses, but it's the third most important thing. This is only my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because there's times where there's several artists out there that necessarily aren't the best rappers, but they make big, good, huge songs that everybody loves. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's the beat and it's that hook, because that's what pulls you in. That's why they call it a hook. That's what baits you in. That's what links you to the song, so what you identify with, with the song. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Leave Me Alone. And it's funny, man, because one thing I learned from Tech said, man, you're dope. Learn to trust yourself. So I write all of these songs within seconds, for real. Like, Tech put the beat on, put Leave Me Alone on. He's like, hey, man, I want to call this song Leave Me Alone, man. Dang, how should we say this? And I'm listening to him and I'm like, away from me, please stay far from me, leave me by my lonely. And it just came out. I mean, like, we wrote that song in like probably 3 minutes.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I learned to trust myself. So the beat tells me what to do. Now, sometimes I'll come up with the music too, because I co-produce a lot of the stuff on my album. Elevator, Misunderstood, things like that. Like, I'll hear the music in my head, and I'll call, usually I call the producer that we use named Michael Seven Summers, call Seven, and I'm like, hey man, I want this beat. I keep hearing it in my head. It reminds me of the Munsters theme song. I want to use this kind of 60s sounding organ like the Doors would use. You know what I mean? And blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, man. It's just being a guy at a group meeting I was at for bipolar people. I was at this group meeting, and this dude said, man, don't be ashamed of being bipolar. Everybody bipolar is creative because their imagination is just immense. And I took that and ran with it. So as soon as I hear a beat or as soon as I get an idea, it produces into a song within minutes. You know what I mean? And that's what happened on all of those songs, with Scoob, with Tech, with Cut, with whoever. You know what I mean? Fortunately, now it's getting noticed by the world.
For sure. And SIC, share about the new EP that you just did, From Immortal to Much More.
Yeah. SIC, man, it stands for Sam's Identity Crisis. which is what my music is. It's like sometimes even Trav says, man, how can I market this? And I'm like, my whole shtick is everything at the same time, man. Like, I have to do everything. If I just had to do down south rap, it would drive me crazy. I want to do that. I want to do rock. I want to do reggae. I want to do all of these different types of music all on one album. And, you know, thank God that I've been able to still make it feel like a cohesive project. You know what I mean? And that's my identity crisis. And that's this was all Tech's idea. Tech said, man, I want you to call this EP SIC, like my KOD, make it stand for Sam's Identity Crisis. And he explained it to me. He's explaining me to me, you know, and so we did it. And I really wanted to kind of speak from my heart. That was what I was thinking. Like, I want to speak from my heart. And I'm not necessarily one of these artists that everything has to be like, oh, I poured my heart and soul. No, some things is just like, hey, elevator go up. Sometimes it's just a party. But on this one, since I was taking it back to kind of the vitiligo format, I wanted to kind of spill my heart out. And that's the first thing that came to my mind when I heard the Immortal beat was, if I pour my heart out, would you leave it on the floor? Or would you pick it up and put it in your own chest? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you that big of a fan? Because our fans claim to be the best fans ever. I don't see anybody else with fans like ours either. I don't see anybody else with a following that came out of the underground with this millions of kids following them, you know, like they do us. And so my thing is like, okay, if you guys are going to say, hey, I want you to do this type of song, will you immortalize me? Meaning, will you pass me on to the rest of the world for me? Since I don't necessarily have a huge TV presence, huge radio presence, will you do this for me and immortalize me? So I'm speaking to the fans, you know what I'm saying? From that to me talking about the last song on the EP, which is called Down, which I tell, you know, it sounds like a party joint, but I'm really saying, like, I'm speaking from a man's point of view. We want to drink and party. We want to kick it. We want to be promiscuous and have sex with every cute woman we see. But if you grew up with the Bible like I did, are you willing to go to hell for it? Probably not. If you know if what they describe, hell really exists. If what they describe exists, you don't want to have to pay for that later just for this good feeling now. But I say I just want to party. I don't want to go down, down, down. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then all the other songs in between is just me kind of just showing off, man. You know what I mean? Like an animal. I got a song on there called Animal. I'm just saying, like, I'm a beast at this music. And I use all of these metaphors that are related to animals, you know what I'm saying? You just got to peep it out, man. But it's really good, man. Very creative and just killing it lyrically on it, man. You know what I mean?
And long time, 10 to 12 years, was Strange some of the achievements since you've been part of the team?
The biggest one is that we're the #1 independent label in the world. Music label, not rap. Music label. #1 independent label in the world, man. And, you know, I'd say my achievements, man, I don't measure it by what the industry would say, like you were mentioning, Billboard. That's a good achievement, but what I measure a lot of our success is that a lot of dudes I know don't get to come to Canada. They don't get to see Switzerland. They don't get to see Paris. I got a lot of homies that will never see Vancouver. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really that far. They could drive here. You know what I'm saying? So I measure a lot of my success on experiences that I've gotten to have. Being able to meet people that have been my musical heroes forever. Being able to do songs with them and be associated with them, sit in the same room and we're talking and it's not about music. You know what I'm saying? These are a lot of the achievements that I hold near and dear to me, man.
And the biggest crowd that you've ever rocked?
Ooh, probably... It's probably at a festival in Europe, maybe 25,000, 30,000 people. But I feel like it's harder for me to sing in front of the two of you than it would be for me to sing in front of 30,000 people. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more of a judgmental eye when it's just 1 or 2 people. Then 30,000, it's like, you know, I don't know, and then I feed off of that energy too, man. So,
favorite place to tour?
I don't know, man. It all blends together now, man. I don't know. Canada's making a strong run at my favorite place, man. I've been everywhere, man, and I say Canada, I don't know, this the energy from people over here feels really good, man. It seems to be a really friendly place, man, and it gives me, I'm a real weirdo as far as like energy goes and stuff, and I need positive vibes, and I get a lot right here, man. So this is definitely one of them.
And the best hip hop memory you've been part of or contributed to?
Me and Tech performing in Las Vegas, and Busta Rhymes, who I'd never seen in person before, coming to our dressing room at the end of the night and saying, "Where's Big Dude? Where's Big Dude at? Let me tell you something, nigga. Let me tell you something, General. Me and Spliff kill everybody every night. But you and this nigga right here, I salute you, General. I salute you. Nobody messing with y'all." And then the next time me seeing him, well, probably 2 times after that, me seeing him in New York and him coming up, hugging me and saying, "They have no idea what's about to go down, son. They have no idea what's about to happen tonight." This is somebody who I've idolized for years to come and tell me that the people he's performing in front of have no idea what they're about to get with me and Tech Nine. That's probably my greatest hip hop memories, man. And that, I got one other one. KRS-One, when we came off the stage, KRS-One standing backstage, and he said, "You know what to do. You know what to do." That's all he had to tell me, you know what I'm saying?
And your other projects coming out, Kicking and Screaming?
Kicking and screaming, man. That's what I come out doing, man. I come out on stage kicking and screaming all the time. You'll see tonight. When I come out, when Ted comes out, they're like, "Oh my God, it's Tech Nine." He comes out a little more calm than I do. When I come out, it ramps the energy up so much. He told me the other day, he's like, "Man, you make me turn up. When you come out," he's like, "I always feel like I'm really coming out and turning the crowd up. And then when you come out, I'm like, I'm excited that you're out on stage." You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like that was my persona. And so I'm like, why not call my album that and just take it that much further?
And you have anything to say from KCMO to Canada?
KCMO, man. I wish my people could get here, man. Canada's beautiful. Vancouver, my 2 favorite places are probably Vancouver and Montreal. You know what I'm saying? It's just wonderful to be here, man. Wonderful to be back. Show sold out. It's always super energy, man. And from a dude from the middle of the U.S. map, man, to come out here and even, I was even looking today, like just looking at the ocean, like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful, man. You know what I'm saying? From KC to Canada, man, we about to rock their socks off once again, man.
And you have anything else to add so we can know about you?
You can get at me, Krizz Kaliko. It's spelled with K's, K-R-I-Z-Z. And it's not pronounced Krizz, it's Chris. See, you got it right, my man. KrizzKaliko.com or therealtech9.com, man. And you got to get on us if you're not, man. If you're not on us by now, you got to be up under a rock, because it's enough media on us now for everybody to know. That's why we got Lil Wayne talking to us. That's why we got T-Pain and invited me into his home to record with him for no particular project. Just, "I love what you do. Please come down to Atlanta, stay at my house and work with me." You know what I'm saying? It's our turn, man. Strange music.
And you got any shouts?
Shout out, man, to North America, because now we taking the whole continent over, man. Shout out to Tech Nine, man. Strange Music, Scooby, J Rock, Mayday, Stevie Stone, Cut Calhoun, man. The whole Strange fam, man. Here we go again.
And shouts to Cross-Eyed Joe and Corey, and this is the Archivest, and you already know the name, y'all.
Already, man. Cali, baby.